Now, we've seen these teams play a few times. Chloe, who do you think might be influential for the Isle of Man?
I mean, the goalkeeper is a really influential player. She's such a strong player when she comes on court, and I feel that makes a massive difference for the team. So I think she's really one to look out for on court today.
And of course, as we acknowledge the Isle of Man and UAE, first international tournament, playing brilliantly, both teams.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the level of play, I think, has surpassed everyone's expectations for how both teams would play in this tournament. So it's just been really good to see them develop throughout.
And as you can see, a big warm welcome for the Israel squad here. Let me tell you, in at goal shooter is Nomi Komar, their captain, Gordon goal attack, Lieberman at wing attack, at centre Khaled, wing defence Clements, goal defence Click, and Kerr in at goalkeeper. Good starting seven for Israel.
Absolutely. I mean, I think they're putting on some of their strongest players on court. Some of them are quite young, but just their level of play and their skills are phenomenal throughout. So I think they're off to a good start just from the lineup.
Both teams have been really positive. That positive energy and enthusiasm for Israel, always so lovely to see on the court.
I mean, I really like it when they play, just because you can tell how much they love the game, and that just makes it enjoyable to watch.
And as we are hearing, if you heard that, viewers back home, the umpires are about to take to the court. They will wait until the official start time. But as you can see, our two official umpires today, Susan Forsman from South Africa and local umpire Nadine Zamet. Always great to see Nadine on court.
I mean, absolutely. She's an extremely good umpire, and she mentors all of the umpires here in Gibraltar, getting prepared for our assessments when we're trying to qualify. So she's just great. I love her a lot.
I think many people would share that view of her, Chloe. And we start with a very positive centre pass for Israel. Komar.
Off to a great start, really, for Israel. Let's just see how it carries on.
Now, what can the Isle of Man do? They've come here and shown a level of netball perhaps beyond expectations, having not played on the international scene before.
I mean, absolutely. I feel they came in sort of a relatively unknown team, and they've come out and just been phenomenal throughout. They've brought such a physical game, and they've really put up a fight in most matches. I mean, the two that they've lost were both by 1 point, so it just shows how strong they are as a squad.
Imagine what kind of emotional and physical toll that will have taken on them. 2 games to the wire, literally the last few seconds. I know when we interviewed Ashley Hall, she was so proud of her team, but also, of course, they were slightly disappointed.
I mean, I'd find that really painful. I find close matches, when you lose those, hurt more than losing by a huge margin. But they're coming out strong this morning, so obviously their confidence hasn't taken that much of a knock yet.
No, and we saw their Swells putting the ball in, with Kirkham in at goal shooter for the Isle of Man. Kirkham scoring again. Early stages in this match, of course, but 3-1 to Isle of Man. Centre not setting the centre pass correctly. Kirkham. Confident shot, 4-1. Isle of Man lead. Glick putting pressure on Swells. As we've heard, Glick only 16 last month. Incredible.
She's so young, and really you wouldn't be able to tell unless, obviously, well, you can see that she looks quite young, but in terms of skills, you wouldn't be able to tell that much of a difference.
So Israel doing a good job putting pressure on the shooters there. A few early nerves. But Swells sinks that one. 5-1. Israel centre pass. I think everyone's willing, Israel, to build on some of their good play they've been showing in some of the quarters. Perhaps not quite as consistent throughout all of their games as they would have liked.
Yeah, I feel that's one thing that Israel need to work on, is just the consistency, because when it works, it really works for them, and they do an excellent job on court just holding off their opponents and really getting those goals in.
So good pressure by Glickenker in that circle. Won the throw-in off the back line. And a man putting on a huge amount of pressure down the court. Lieberman. As we know, Israel are not the tallest team in the world, but they make up from it from really trying to keep the ball safe. And when they do that, they look after the ball. They work the ball to the edge of the circle. They do create good shooting opportunities.
Yeah, they really do. I mean, I feel like that's something they've worked on over the past few years, and you can see the improvement in that over the different tournaments that they've played.
And there we are, Captain Komar taking responsibility for that shot. Good swing there. Paul finding Kirkham. So, Isle of Man 6, Israel 2. And as we've said previously in the tournament, Israel have come with a relatively young side. Great vision. Relatively inexperienced. They're building for the future. Come on, so positive on court.
I mean, I feel that Kamar's positivity as captain just really helps boost the whole side's positivity, really.
Great interplay there, nice. Better timing by Isle of Man. Quite a shooting action requires arm movement, doesn't really use her legs, Kirkham.
Yeah, I did notice that a couple of days ago when I was watching their match versus Ireland.
Good pressure by the Isle of Man again. Gordon out at goal attack for Israel today. Khalet into Komar, immediately turns for the post. Now we've seen Kat Keeling in their goalkeeper for Isle of Man a few times now. She's not an easy player to play against, but Komar's making it look easy.
Yeah, she really is. I mean, she's such a Keeling is such a physical player on court, and I was wondering how Komar would sort of go up against her, but she's holding her off beautifully today.
So Israel centre pass. They trail slightly 8-4 at this stage. Lots of time to go. Here's still 9 minutes on the clock until the end of the first quarter. Great timing by Komar. Takes her step in, as a good experienced shooter will do. So very tight here. I know Israel really keen to go out on a high. Great ball into Kirkham. Their captain Hall for Isle of Man's had a huge impact on this game, all throughout the tournament for them. She must have heard me.
She almost got it.
Good hands there by Paul. You can obviously see Komar is a threat in there. They're trying to put a double on her. Made no difference. Unlucky.
That one could have gone either way, really.
So lucky pick up there by Charmer. Lovely ball. Vision by Clay Ryder. Under the post. So a 5-goal gap now. Isle of Man leading 10 goals to Israel's 5. Just over 7 minutes left here in this fourth quarter. The 9th game of 10 here at the Netball Europe Open. It's gone so quick, hasn't it?
It really has. It's been a great weekend of netball. Like most of the matches have been so close that it's just been amazing. Exhausting sometimes for the fans as well, 'cause I'm so tired. I can't imagine how the girls are feeling on court.
Sometimes say, as netballers, it's more emotional being on the side watching rather than on the court, because you can't get on there and actually do something about it.
Absolutely. I mean, it's just been amazing this weekend.
Unlucky miss by Gordon. So the Isle of Man, quick breakout, great transition into attack. Lovely feed. Paul's been finding those balls under the post, footwork called. Just close the distance a bit too much there, Kirkham. Am I right in thinking you're an umpire as well?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I'm a C awards, but obviously nowhere near as good as the umpires on court today.
No, but we all start somewhere, don't we?
Yeah.
And we always acknowledge netball is a team sport, both on and off the court. We're so pleased to have some of the world's top umpires here, and Hall's vision has been just brilliant the whole of the tournament.
Absolutely. I mean, we were commenting on that yesterday when she was umpiring. She's phenomenal, really.
So Isle of Man 12, Israel 5. Heading towards the last 5 minutes of this quarter. Oh, great vision there by Kerr. Picks up the turnover. Now Israel.
With great pressure there from the Isle of Man.
Lovely ball fed into by Clegg Ryder into Chloe Swales. Sister down the other end, Natalie, playing goal defence. We have lots of sisters who play international netball. The Marino sisters for Gibraltar.
Yeah.
Nomi Komar is part of the netball dynasty in Israel, though the sisters aren't playing this weekend.
No, but usually you can see more than one Kumar sister on court. Just this weekend, there's only one.
I'm sure there's a few teams who are saying, thank goodness there's only one Komar here, where she's playing. Great hands and distance by Swales. Hellek putting pressure on Paul. Long bomb in. So Isle of Man 14, Israel 5, 4 minutes to go. Great ball again. Swales playing out at goal attack, played more goal shooter the majority of the tournament, but playing really well both positions.
I mean, if you're a good shooter, you can generally play goal attack quite well. If you have the ability to sort of run fast and just see where that ball is going, and I feel it really helps if you can play both.
Oh, there we go, Hall again. Lovely ball. Great interception though by Clements, watching that play very closely, held by Khaled. Lieberman just needs to set the penalty effectively, which she does, into Gordon. So Isle of Man are leading here, 15 goals to Israel 6. Great vision. Really good timing by the Isle of Man team. Textbook centre pass. So what can Israel do?
Just a little tumble there.
There'll be some potentially tired legs out there. We've asked a lot of these players this weekend. A match a day, for some teams 2 matches a day.
There's some really good pressure there from the Isle of Man's defence.
Lovely ball by Ryder Clay down there. Finish off nicely. Keeping that pressure on Israel. The Isle of Man 17-6 they lead.
It's a little bit too much power on that ball, but that's generally been working for them.
Israel's making a nuisance of herself on the court from Israel's perspective. Really marking tight. Heading towards the last minute of this first quarter.
I think Israel really wanted to get the ball in before.
Unlucky shot by Komar. Great rebound again by Keeling. She's had a great tournament. We will find out in the closing ceremony who has been named most valuable player of the tournament.
I think this year it'll be quite tight because there are many players throughout many of the different teams who've just had phenomenal tournaments. I think it'll be really difficult to have just the one sort of most valuable.
It's not the easiest call in the world, and thank goodness we don't have to do that. So Halep finds Lieberman wide into Komar. She'll get the penalty. And slots 18-7, just under 10 seconds now. Great turnover. So we talk about defining moments. Isle of Man should have really looked after that ball, but Israel will be pleased they didn't.
Yeah.
So as the teams head to the bench for quarter time, I can tell you that the Isle of Man are on 18 goals, Israel on 7. So comfortable gap opening up for Isle of Man so far.
I think so, but I wouldn't count Israel out just yet. They've been putting on a really strong performance throughout this quarter, and I think they might be making a couple of substitutions now, just judging from what's happening on the bench. You know, I mean, it's still quite a comfortable gap for Isle of Man, but Israel are putting up a good fight.
And we've seen in a number of the games this weekend, Israel seem to have a really strong second and fourth quarter for some reason. They've done really well against some of the top teams here in those quarters, so I don't think Isle of Man can take anything for granted in the next 15.
No, absolutely. I mean, Israel, like I said, has been just really strong, and they've just consistently been getting stronger. Though I feel maybe consistency throughout their match isn't their strong point, so we'll just have to see how it goes.
And we know they've come with a relatively new squad, build for the future. They've got 10 players who are kind of kitted up and ready to go. They've also got their joint coach, Sean Berman, and their team manager, Robin Ginsberg, named in the squad just in case there was any injuries.
I mean, we see that happen in the Super League a lot, so it doesn't surprise me that it happens at this level as well. I think at the moment they would be thinking of just keeping their kitted up players going while they coach and manage the team.
I'm not sure how easy that transition would be if they needed to get on the court having coached. That kind of mental preparation that we all go through when you start start playing, and you know, you can see Sean Berman there doing her coaching, talking to the defence, not surprisingly in jeans. That would be a kind of a fast change required to get her on the court.
A little bit like Superman.
I'm sure Sean Berman would like to know she's been referred to as Superman or Superwoman, as the case may be.
Yep.
So we will bring you, of course, the official substitutions as soon as we get them from our colleagues on the bench. Support, as we've acknowledged, by our buddies up in Scotland, sending down some support to the match bench officials here in Gibraltar. Always much appreciated how countries in Europe work together, both on and off the court.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we get a lot of help from Netball Scotland, and we really appreciate our netball buddies. So.
Do you think it helps that you're down here where the sun shines much more than it does in Scotland? Am I allowed to say that? I'm going to get shot from anyone in Scotland.
I think it might be a little bit helpful. we do have this nice weather compared to the Scottish weather.
And just for avoidance of doubt or any kind of Twitter feeds, Scotland is one of the most beautiful countries in the world.
Oh, absolutely. I really like Scotland.
So as we can see, the Isle of Man team are already up, back on court, keen to carry on.
Just waiting on Israel and should be off soon.
And of course the umpires will lead us into the quarter perfectly on time, as they do every game they officiate. Here comes Israel, and our umpires about to start the second quarter here at Victoria Stadium in Gibraltar. Dean Samet and Susan Forsman about to get the game underway. So Israel centre pass. Isle of Man lead 18-7.
And we can already see Isle of Man's defensive pressure on Israel straight from the centre pass.
So click down to Lieberman. See, Komar has come out to play very effective rotating shooter. Nice interplay between Gordon and Komar. She'll get the rebound. Isle of Man really putting on pressure there. Keeling Swales giving no room away to Israel.
Unlucky there for Komar.
That's disappointing for the Israeli shooters, but good continued pressure by Swales and Keeling, and quickly down to the other end. Well held by Swales. Good hands there, Click getting around Swales. Good choice by Hall, finding Kirkham under the post. 20 plays 7. Unlucky. Pressure in there by Kupchik, who's come on at quarter time for Israel. Another goal for Isle of Man, 21 plays 7.
That was a nice block there from Glick.
Good pressure by Glick.
She's got such a lovely lean.
We saw her really get good distance before her arm went up.
Yeah.
Sometimes we see quite a lot of penalties given in the circle. That discipline by defenders is so important. Footwork called there. We constantly talk about the netball family. Kirkham scores another goal there, and I know that Israel have been very welcomed by the Jewish community down here in Gibraltar, which is lovely to see.
Yeah, I mean, in Gibraltar everyone's welcome. I think that's such a lovely part of the community that no matter where you're from, you'll always be welcome here.
And that's certainly been our experience over many years. So Isle of Man, 24. Israel yet to get on the scoreboard this quarter, still on 7. That's a real credit to the effectiveness of Isle of Man's defence in there. It's a wall of red and yellow.
I wouldn't want to go up against them, to be honest.
So when both the Isle of Man and UAE were preparing for this tournament, a lot offside there, saw her foot quickly pulling back, see whether Nadine would see it, and of course she did. We didn't know what to expect. We didn't know how these teams would play, never played on the international circuit before. Well, we know now. The rest of the netball world better watch out.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I feel maybe they might have been a little bit underestimated before coming in because no one knew much about them. But I mean, they've put up an incredible performance over the tournaments, and I've just really enjoyed watching them and seeing what they've brought to the whole dynamic.
Great ball feed by Paul to Swales. 25-7 Isle of Man lead. So what can Israel do here, Chloe?
I think maybe just keep going with their safe passes like they've been doing throughout, and just sort of try and get the ball in and make sure they score those goals.
Into Komar.
Just unlucky.
Some days the ball just doesn't want to go through the ring.
Those days are really frustrating for the whole team because you know that the shooter can do it. They just, for some reason, they make it and they hit the rim or whatever, but they just don't seem to go in, and that's just generally really frustrating for the whole team.
But we've seen the impact that those clean shots and early success at goal have on a team. Israel will be wanting to get this one away. So 8.5 minutes left here before we hit half-time in this, sadly, our second to last game of the tournament.
It's gone by so quick, the whole weekend. I've been watching some great games of netball and just been loving every second of it so far.
Colette and Komar linking well. Can she put this one away? She can. As you can hear, Israel delighted about that. That's so much pressure in that circle from the Isle of Man defenders.
Both shooters are doing a great job just sort of fending off that pressure and just keep going.
And what a great transition by Hall onto the edge of that circle with speed and accuracy. So 27 plays 8 here at Victoria Stadium. We've been grateful for all the support we've had in Gibraltar from the team here, Reagan Lima's team at the stadium, Minister of Sport for Gibraltar, Stephen Linares, the Lieutenant General, Sir Eddie Davis. You couldn't have had more support as Gibraltar Netball.
No, at all. We really couldn't have asked for anything more. Like all the authorities, the ministers, the governor, and even just the general public who've been having so much support for the tournament, and it's just been lovely to see how lovely they can play.
So 20-goal game opening up now. Israel really need to try to do something a bit different. Hard when you've got a team like the Isle of Man playing so effective.
I feel like I keep going on about it, but the Isle of Man's defence is incredible.
And here they come again. Great hold by Hall, just allowing her shooter to rock back to the post. Back click in there for that interception. Wins the turnover. Kupchik to take. Yeah, there's quite a lot of support in the stadium here. I think many teams have some travelling supporters, which is lovely to see.
It's always great when you go somewhere else and you don't have much support. It's always nice to just have those few familiar faces in the crowd just cheering you on. It really gives a huge boost to the team.
So here we've got a commanding lead by the Isle of Man, 30 goals, 31 goals against Israel's 8, and a really strong quarter this one. 13-1 so far in this quarter to the Isle of Man.
They've been putting on a great amount of pressure and just really getting that ball straight down to their shooters, who've been able to convert those into points, and they've been just playing really well. They're such a strong physical team and they can just really do it.
So the enforced errors there won't help Israel at this stage in the game. There's been such a great feeling between all the teams as well as being competitive on the court, as we're seeing here. And Kirkham will take that one off the court. It's been such a great feeling of team spirit between all the countries.
I mean, like we all say, you know, we're all part of one netball family worldwide, and I feel like tournaments like this really show that, and it's just really nice to see that no matter where we're from, we're all combined like through our love of netball.
And there's been an absolute outpouring of love and support for the UAE's Sarah Donovan, who we talked about yesterday. Have to say, nearly 11,000 views of her interview. Support from all the teams here, all the players saying what an amazing, inspirational player. Oh, so close by Khaled.
Yeah, Sarah Donovan's just a huge inspiration to everyone here. She really embodies what it means to sort of love your sport and love playing for your country and being proud of that. And even through her cancer battle, she's still here and she's still playing, and she's doing an amazing job, and she's one of the most effective shooters, I think, in the tournament right now.
Wales to take Isle of Man 35-8, and as we know, there's no such thing as an easy plane ticket to get into the international side. She's had to fight for her place. She's had to be the best to get on the court, and she's shown that in droves. It's just incredible.
I mean, it's hard enough just getting on the squad and keeping up with your training, your fitness, just to get here, without even mentioning her cancer battle throughout. That is, I mean, she's just phenomenal as a player. I really admire her.
And that's another great passage of play by the Isle of Man. We'll see a substitution, perhaps not surprisingly, from Israel. Looked to me like Khaled might be going to the bench. Oh, Levens just needs to hold on just 2 seconds. And she did. So come on, Israel. What can you do here? It's not what you want to see, even at this stage in the game. They might be winning, but oh, what a great reaction by Ellen Chalmer.
A really good interception.
Really strong performance in this quarter by the Isle of Man. Israel really struggled to respond, come back with any options. The defence, as we've said, have just been phenomenal in that back four unit.
And you can just see the way that they're moving and just blocking out those players, stop that ball from getting in.
Great, well done. Wales. A little bit too much on that one. But Kirkham picks up. Israel brings the ball down again. See what they can do. Oh, just a slight misunderstanding between Lieberman and Levens there.
It was really quickly picked up by the Isle of Man and just taken straight down into that shooting circle. A little bit more height needed. There we go.
So we can see that the Isle of Man are on 39, Israel on 9 minutes and 20 on the clock. They'll be keen to hit 40 as they do just now.
I mean, I think at this point it'll be very difficult for Israel to sort of catch up.
I think we can fairly confidently say Isle of Man have got this one in the bag, but I'm sure the coaches for Israel will be setting a new set of targets for the next 2 quarters. There'll be still a huge amount that the Israel team can take from this, and it's about focusing on those goals and objectives that they've been set and really making it work on court.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the time winning might not be the objective, it's just maybe to get a certain number of goals or to do certain plays effectively or just to really improve on your skills or just generally just individual player targets.
And here comes Isle of Man. Straight down the centre of the court. Shortest and quickest way to goal. Kirkham making no mistake. And another one, will they score off this one? Swales can indeed.
And those last few second shots are always so important just for the confidence of the squad.
So what an absolute commanding performance by the Isle of Man, showing a standard of play which perhaps goes beyond their 4 international caps per player at this stage. They take to the bench with a huge lead, 42 goals against Israel's 9. What are your thoughts, Chloe, so far?
I mean, Isle of Man have just been putting out a phenomenal game. Like I've said, they're a very physical team, and that's just really coming across in all of their matches, not just today's one. They've just been so strong throughout. Israel, they're sort of getting out there. They haven't had the best quarter now in the second one, but you know, they're playing their own game and they're enjoying it. I feel like that's really what they come here to do and just improve.
They will take a huge amount of learning.
Margin. But they're coming out strong this morning, so
in at goal shooter for the Isle of Man. Kirkham scoring. Kirkham.
A few years, and you can see the improvement in that over the different tournaments that they've played.
They're so positive on court.
And I feel that Kamar's positivity
Immediately turns for the post. Now we've seen Keeling really keen to go out on a high. Great ball into Kirkham. It's a lucky pick up there by Chalmer. Lovely ball. Vision by Clay Ryder. Under the post. Quarter, the 9th game of 10 here at the Netball Europe Open. It's gone so quick. Lovely ball fed into by Clay Ryder into Chloe. Great ball again. To set the penalty effectively, which she does, into Gordon. Good choice by Hall, finding Kirkham under the post. We constantly talk about the netball family. Hallett and Komar linking well. Can she put this one away? She can. We've had more support as Gibraltar netball.
No, at all. We really couldn't have asked for anything more.
Commanding lead by the Isle of Man. 30 goals, 31 goals as well. It's been competitive on the court as we're seeing here. And Kirkham will so close by Hallett.
Yeah, Sarah Donovan's just a huge inspiration to everyone here. She really embodies what it means to sort of love your sport.
And that's another great passage of play by the
players. Stop that ball from getting in.
Great, well done. The clock. They'll be keen to hit 40 as they do just now. And here comes Isle of Man. Straight down the centre of the court. And as you can see at half-time here at Victoria Stadium in beautiful sunny Gibraltar, Isle of Man are on 42, Israel on 9. Lots of smiles from the Isle of Man bench. Wasn't quite the same against Gibraltar yesterday. It had a different game, huge amount of pressure.
I think yesterday was really, really tight match. I mean, there was one goal in it, and throughout, like, the whole crowd was just on their feet. It was such a tense atmosphere in the hall from both supporters from both teams. It was a brilliant match.
And as we saw, I think Gibraltar was 6 up in that last quarter at one point. Isle of Man didn't give up, kept coming back within one goal, 43-42, and then the clock just ran away with them. I'm sure Gibraltar were delighted that it did.
I mean, towards the end, I think we were all just holding our breath just to see how it would go. It was so nerve-wracking.
I know when I interviewed Moira Gomez, president of Gibraltar Netball Association, after the game, she said it got to the point where she was hiding behind her handbag. She couldn't bear to watch the game anymore.
I mean, that really summarises it, really. It was so tight, and then Isle of Man, they just really pushed back and started catching up, and we just thought, God, when will the clock run out? I felt that was the longest quarter that ever existed.
And of course, Isle of Man pushed Ireland extremely hard as well. In fact, the same score in that game, 43-42.
And yeah, I mean, that just shows how strong of a team they are. Like, both times that they've lost has just been by one. And again, really strong Irish team and equally strong Gibraltar team.
So we talk about the learning that happens on the court, and no matter how hard you try, you can't replicate that in training. It's just impossible. So whilst the Isle of Man were clearly, for them, the wrong side of those two final outcomes, the amount of learning they will have taken from those matches, and today is a different game. So when you're that far ahead, there's equal challenges within a squad at this level, trying to still focus on your own game, your own outcome, keep delivering.
Yeah, I mean, they should really be proud of themselves, not just this match with the incredible lead that they have at this stage, but just generally how they've played in the other few matches that they've played this weekend. They've just been so strong, and just to be able to play at this level without having any prior exposure to this, I would be really proud if I was them.
I'm just having a quick look at our Twitter feed for Netball Europe. Remember, you can join in the netball conversation, #NEOpen. So many people from around the world. Lisa Alexander, coach of Australia, we take our hat off to you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for retweeting. It's so great to have support from someone like yourself for these teams, recognising how important international netball is at all levels of our fantastic global sport. So if you would like a mention, we're getting towards the end of our tournament, Sally. I don't know what any of us are going to do tomorrow when the netball finishes. Look forward to probably the netball around the world globally next weekend, of course. We would still love to hear from you. Please let us know your thoughts. Keep retweeting, keep the Wake Up Netball hashtag going. Let's make sure the world knows about our wonderful sport that we have. So many people tuning in, Chloe. It's just amazing, isn't it?
Absolutely. I've got friends over in the UK back at university who set their alarms early to watch, and it's just been really nice just receiving that support from them.
So you're a bit of a celeb now. Are you going to go back and they're going, oh my gosh, you've done live streaming?
I mean, I got a text from one of my best friends after the last one. He was like, you weren't bad.
You weren't bad. You're brilliant. Don't let them say anything different. And people, we talk about this, and there are some fantastic professional commentators around the world of netball. Absolutely brilliant. We're not professionals. We're not trained. We come along because of the love of the sport, and we literally talk about the thing that we love probably more than anything in the world. So forgive us if we're less than professional as some of the fantastic commentators that there are. We genuinely do our best, and we genuinely try to bring you what is a very exciting tournament here in Gibraltar. So lovely to see Jodie Gibson retweeting our interview with Sarah Donovan. Jodie, another inspirational netballer. So pleased for you winning your gold medal with England down at the Commonwealth Games. And you will see from the court in front of you as the players retake, with Isle of Man leading 43 goals to 9. There's been a number of changes for the Isle of Man. Johnson in at centre, Cassidy now at goal attack, Charmot to goal defence, Hall moves to wing attack, and Shaw moves to wing defence. And for Israel, they've run the changes too. Komar now out at goal attack, Zilber on at goal shooter, Gordon moves to wing attack, Kerr back on at goalkeeper. So probably not surprising, running the changes.
Yeah, I mean, this shooting combination for Israel has really worked for them in past matches, so it'll be good to see how they sort of change the dynamic now of the game between Isle of Man.
So Zilber for Israel. Great start to the quarter for her. Great pressure in there by Kerr on Swales, who goes back to goal shooter. I suspect that most of these players on the court don't actually want the game to end.
Probably not. I mean, at this stage I'm starting to get a little bit nervous about the next match, but
great ball into Swales by Hall, who has moved to wing attack, as we can see. It's impressive that all the squads here this weekend are able to run a full bench. They've got flexibility in their combinations, and it doesn't seem to matter who they put out. They're all performing at such a high level.
I mean, that goes to show really how much preparation goes into it in their training sessions from all their support staff, from the coaches, their managers. It's just generally, there's so much that goes into it that people don't see on the court.
So good pressure again by the combination of Glick and Kerr in there. I think Glick's played pretty much every game for a full 60 minutes for Israel.
Yeah, I think so. And she's so young and she's such a strong player for the squad. Really shows that age is just a number, just how much work and preparation you want to put into it.
So Isle of Man on 45, Israel on 9. They'll sink another one. They'll be working really hard on the targets the coaches have set, I'm sure. Silver's had a great tournament for Israel. That one squeaks in. 46 against 11.
And Israel are off to a much better start this quarter than perhaps they played last quarter.
So there'll be a lot of pride out there in the side. Oh, unlucky. Good pressure though by Isle of Man. Charmer now back. Goal defence for Isle of Man. Johnson finds Kirkham under the post. Kirkham, great shot. 49-11. Running away with this quarter a little bit already, Chloe.
Yeah, just a little bit. I think Isle of Man would really be looking to get to their 50. You know, goal difference can actually make such a huge difference to the final outcome of the whole tournament.
We know that there have been some real good scores over this weekend. Because of the way the wins and losses have gone, the tournament could very well come down to goal difference. The Isle of Man will be absolutely aware of that, and they'll know that every single goal here in this game potentially counts for them. Could be the difference between second, third or first, depending on what happens between Gibraltar and Ireland next.
I mean, the way this tournament has gone, it could really be anyone's games. I mean, I remember yesterday there was a lot of confusion, like, what happens tomorrow after? Who's going to win?
Oh, unlucky. Komar just not quite getting that one in. Isle of Man bringing the ball down. This to take them to 51, which Kirkham does nicely. Well held by Hall. Just sense Israel not really quite sure how to respond to the dominance of the Isle of Man side here today.
Like I said, they've been a really, really strong team all tournaments, and I think Israel just need to focus on playing their own game, which can be very difficult with such a dominant side.
Komar, lovely to hear her team valuing every single goal the two shooters put away. What a great team.
And you can even see some members in the crowd from the local Jewish community just supporting Israel, which is also really just nice to see that they have some of that support even from Gibraltarian.
Unlucky there. So as the ball comes back down into Kirkham again, holding a really strong spot under the post there. .54 against 13. Good choice there by Johnson.
I mean, they're really utilising her height there over the defenders, and it's working out really well for them.
So Kirkham foot stepped, I think it was the call by the judge. Footwork. Umpire. Judge. I started watching Judge Rinder all of a sudden. For sure. Great pressure by Isle of Man again. Just so difficult to get the ball through by Israel. Cassidy indicating she wants that ball. So 55 for the Isle of Man.
They're putting out such a good game today.
Israel still on 13, scored 4 this quarter so far, so it was a better performance so far at the moment.
And that ball into the goal shooter has proven itself to be so effective throughout the whole match. She's just always there and just sinks those balls in.
Hall's vision and timing on the pass. Sometimes she catch release, sometimes she just holds slightly to allow the shooters to reset. 57 plays at 13. We've got 6 minutes to go until three-quarter time here in Gibraltar. It's going to be sad not being able to say here we are in sunny Gibraltar over the next couple of days when we all head back to various places.
Generally in the UK I miss the sun, but over the past couple of weeks it's just been really warm there, so it hasn't been too bad.
That's better from Israel, just need those. Oh, Johnson says thanks very much. She hesitated slightly.
Just got that hand in there at the right moment.
Great reverse pivot there by Kirkham under the post, but foot just went out. So 5 minutes left here until three-quarter time. The match really has been all about the Isle of Man today.
Yeah, despite Israel's best efforts, Isle of Man have just been completely dominating the whole match.
Oh, great reading of where that ball was going by Keeling. We didn't know any of these players before the tournament started. Now they're household names. What a great shot by Cassidy in there. Breaking. That's where the discipline really needs to stay in the side, not start to give away any unforced errors. As I say, they'll have, I'm sure, a goal target. Slight misunderstanding there. Here comes Johnson. Oh, well read by Glick. Just out of court. It is Isleman's ball. Another unforced error, not setting the throw in correctly. That'll be something that the Isle of Man bench will want to work on with these players, I'm sure. Because in those close games, you can't afford to give those easy turnovers away.
Oh yeah, I mean, in a game like this, it's not too much of an issue, but in a close game, that could really make a huge difference.
Oh, well read there by the youngster, Alison Click. So 16, what a future she has ahead of her.
Absolutely, and if she's only 16 and this is the standard that she's playing at now, you can only imagine in a few years when she has more experience.
So what can Israel do here? Oh, fortunately, Johnson had other ideas about them having a go at goal.
They've generally been, having those really safe passes, and I don't really know what's going on with that today, but I feel maybe they should focus on just getting those passes safely to the player that it's aimed at.
So 59, Isle of Man, Israel on 13. Their centre pass. I'm sure there'll be many people back home tuning in, watching this, wishing their team of Israel real good luck. Johnson's got other ideas.
Yeah.
She's been so effective throughout the tournament. Real terrier, both in attack and defence.
Yeah, she's been reading those balls really well and can just sort of get them in.
Interesting, Zilber's foot was out there, but umpire didn't see it.
Yeah.
Allowed her to put the shot up. Great to see Israel still going for everything.
I mean, that's what's really great about the Israeli team. They just never give up and they keep fighting till the last whistle.
Here come Israel again. And say, come on, Israel, you can do it. Patience. Komar looks a little bit frustrated, bless her, but still smiling. Less than a minute here. Three-quarter time. What can Cassidy do? Oh, she can put them on 60 goals. That's what she can do.
That's such an impressive score.
We've had lots of retweets and support for this weekend from people all over the globe joining in, which is fabulous to see. Ali Smith, thank you for your comments. Really good to have you with us. And Wendy D. Thomas, not sure where in the world you are, but you're all very much welcome to be here.
Great attempt in there from Glick just to get that ball in.
So the umpire indicates that that last goal won't count, but the Isle of Man head to the bench, having taken their lead to 60 goals against Israel's 15. So better quarter by Israel, scoring 6 this quarter, but still lots to do.
Yeah, I feel maybe a lot of the time they got unlucky that their shots just didn't go in because they made it down all to the end. But I mean, Keeling is such an effective goalkeeper that she just got those rebounds and passed it straight back out to her team, who just really effectively made it all the way back down to their own shooting circle, and they managed to convert those into goals. So
there will probably be a few changes here. You can see Kupchik putting on the wing defence bib for Israel.
I think it's Lieberman over for wing attack.
Yeah, it looks like that may be the case. We'll of course bring you the official lineup once we have them from the benches. It'll be great to hear from both captains at the end of this game about the experience here. This is the last time we'll see these two teams on court this weekend, just to hear how they've done, how they feel, what they think for the tournament, what they've learnt. So what we're going to see in this last 15 minutes, do you think, Chloe?
I mean, I think Isle of Man will really just be trying to get as many goals onto that board as possible to just increase their goal difference by, the biggest margin that they can. I feel Israel will just be sort of trying to get their goals in, keep the safe passes, and just try and sort of up their score.
So as you can see, it's a very commanding lead for the Isle of Man, 60 against Israel's 15. But still so much Israel can take from this last 15 minutes of international netball. It might be quite some time before they have it. I think they only get to play international netball maybe once a year. They're not in the fortunate position, as some countries are, of being able to rack up 30 international games in a short period of time. These guys don't have a huge opportunity. I was talking to your captain in Gibraltar, Brian Ravino, most experienced player for Gibraltar before the tournament, with all her years of experience, only had 18 caps.
Yeah, I mean, it all goes back down to funding, and most of these players, they just play netball sort of on the side because they enjoy it, but they all have their careers, their families, and without sort of the funding, they can't focus or dedicate as much time to netball as perhaps they'd like to. So, I mean, it's unfortunate, but that's just the way it is at the moment. And
so if you are out there and you've loved the netball this weekend, you've been inspired by some of the stories here, you can see how netball at this level is so important. And of course, we all want the best in the world to continue to develop, but for that to happen, we need to have that kind of performance pathway support all the way through the structures. If you want to get involved, either as a volunteer or you want to bring some funding into the sport, please get in contact. You can do that through Netball Europe Twitter, messaging. We'll pick it up. There's so many opportunities to get your brand out there, and your support will go a huge way to making a difference to women and girls who are inspiring future generations.
Please give us money.
I try not to say it quite so bluntly as that, but you put it very clearly. So here we go. Last quarter here for Isle of Man and Israel. We'll bring you some of those official changes. Khalat bringing the ball down. Lieberman, Zilber and Komar, so same. Oh, Zilber's so frustrated with herself. So many players here we could say so much about. Zilber, as we may have mentioned, only got engaged recently, so we offer her congratulations for the future, for her wedding. Quite sure when it is. Hope she can fit that into her busy international netball career. It's good pressure by the defenders, picking up a contact from Cassidy, so Israel just got to watch those arms. Kupchik now out at wing defence. Great pressure by Isle of Man.
they really don't want to give up those goals. Even though they're already up by so many points, it's just all about that goal difference for them, I think, right now.
Israel may very well be aware of that. They will do their best here to slow that down. Great lean by the new goal defence, but Komar puts it away.
She's always so calm under pressure.
Well, we've said on many occasions this weekend she's been, well read. The previous most valuable player in 2 Netball Europe Open Challenge events over the last couple of years. That says something about the quality of that player.
I mean, absolutely. She's always so calm, she's so positive, and she makes such a huge difference to her squad. And we saw her a few days ago come out due to an injury, and you could feel that confidence in the Israeli side was shaken after that.
She took quite a knock to the face in the first match that Israel played, and unfortunately had to come off in the first quarter. But when she retook the court in the third, you could see, as you rightly say, Chloe, what she does, the confidence the team have with her on the court.
I mean, really, confidence is what makes or breaks the game, I find, usually. I mean, obviously skills and your preparation and fitness all come into it, but just the confidence makes a huge difference.
So Israel very pleasingly are leading this quarter so far. Early doors, but 2-1 to them. Well held there by Gemma Kirkham. Score again for the Isle of Man. Hellet back on at centre. Lieberman wing attack. Into Zilba. Oh, great reading there by Storner out at goal defence for Isle of Man. Oh, that will count. Komar takes Israel to 18 against Isle of Man's 62.
Lovely ball into Kirkham there. She sort of went through the Israeli defence.
So all level this quarter so far, 3 each. Oh, that was really well read by Shaw. She's had a good tournament as well.
Oh, definitely. I feel most of the players from Isle of Man have had a really good tournament individually as well as a team.
So I'll ask you, and I'll ask Suzanne Skelding, who will be back in the commentary box with me for the last game, who on earth is going to come out as most valuable player for this tournament from all the teams?
I really don't know. I mean, God, there's so many people who you could just name.
And of course, as we've said here in the commentary box over the weekend, the way it works is that the coach of Isle of Man here today will choose who they feel is the most valuable player from Israel and vice versa. So each team gets 1 vote for the opposition. Those nominations go to the appeals panel to collate, and we find out who the most valuable player will be slightly later today in the closing ceremony. Great accolade for any player to get that nomination.
Definitely. Especially the standard of this tournament has been so high. And, you know, the United Arab Emirates and Isle of Man have really sort of increased the standard. So sort of to have the single most valuable player is just going to be a really tough call to make.
I'm absolutely delighted how Israel have come out here, as I'm sure everybody is, whilst the scoreline is understandably in Isle of Man's favour. At the moment, Israel leading this quarter 5-4.
You know, they usually do have a really strong last quarter, and you know, there's still just under 10 minutes to play, and they're doing a really good job just getting those goals in.
So this is where the Isle of Man really need to continue to dig deep. Oh, unfortunate misunderstanding between Komar and Lieberman there. I'm so pleased that the calculations for who finishes where isn't down to me. I leave that to Maggie Jackson, our Director of Technical Group.
Yep.
Well held there by Oh,
Great hands in there.
Shaw again putting pressure on that ball. 65 plays 20, 8.5 minutes left to go. I'll be really sorry to say we won't see these two teams again for some period of time, Chloe.
I know, they've just put out a really amazing tournament. It's just been a pleasure to watch.
Great pressure by Cassidy there. Johnson. Great take again by Cassidy. Lovely ball in from Johnson. Kirkham puts it away on the second attempt.
A lot of the time in her first attempt she doesn't quite get the height, but she always fixes it perfectly to the second one.
So 67 Isle of Man, 20 Israel. Better quarter, we said, by Israel. Just need to cut those unforced errors out. Clearly conscious. You can hear the Isle of Man bench encouraging the players. Want that ball to go in. There you go, your point again. She doesn't seem to use her legs to shoot.
Yeah, maybe
all arm
just
action.
A little bit bending her legs would really help get that little extra last bit of height that she needs to get the ball in first time.
Oh, it's a good space though. Pressure in there from Kerr again. Rolls that one in. Taking them one off the next big score. 69 against 20. Here they come again. See Johnson spotting that great hold by Kirkham in the circle. So 70 plays 20. That is a big goal difference here, which could work in Isle of Man's favour. Once the score's on the doors, a calculator later on after the final game, Gibraltar versus Ireland. That's going to be a cracking hour of netball.
Absolutely. I mean, this tournament has been so good in terms of just the standard of play, and there's no clear winner yet. So it'll just be really interesting to see that final match and the scores.
Just a little bit too much on that one for Komar to keep it in. So we do know if Ireland beat Gibraltar, then with their 4 straight wins, they will take the tournament.
Yep.
However, if Gibraltar beat Ireland, then we go into all the technical calculations, goal difference, and we hold our breath.
I mean, that's just so nerve-wracking. I think such a nerve-wracking position for both teams to be in. Because just the outcome of that one game could change so many positions within the tournament.
How would you like to have been commentating that one?
Oh my God. I think I'd just spent too much time screaming into the microphone.
So, come on Israel. Let's see what you can do. Komar looks down the court, but Shaw again. Gets her hands to the ball. Oh, great intercept by Halep Click.
She's been so good and so consistent all tournament.
Lovely screen afforded to Cassidy by Kirkham. So 72-20. Great ball in. 73. I think the score when UAE played Israel was 82-20, roughly similar. So Isle of Man will be really conscious of that. If their bench has done any calculations, oh, well held by Lieberman there. So So difficult to get that ball through that Isle of Man defence.
Their defence has been strong throughout the entire tournament.
As we creep closer to that scoreline, the UAE posted against Israel. You wonder how close these two teams are going to end up in terms of the comparison. Israel still fighting hard for every ball.
Like I said earlier, they never give up until the final whistle blows, and that's just really good to see from the team.
3 minutes to go, 75-20. Oh, unfortunately, Lieberman just couldn't hold that. Real steady controlling netball here, watching for the opening. There it was, Cassidy under the post.
Such good movement around the shooting circle as well.
Kirkham will have a go as she comes off the back line. Always fantastic seeing shooters do that. 77 plays 20. They're 5 short of the goal average, but have a better goal average, obviously, having beaten UAE as well. So, oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's just the way this tournament has been played out with who's been winning and losing their matches.
So, every single goal here counts, both ways. Isle of Man are going to pop this one into Kirkham under the post. Oh. Cassidy puts that one away. 78-20, 1.5 minutes to go.
I think
oh, well in Halet.
I think Isle of Man will be trying to sort of replicate United Arab Emirates score.
They'll want to force their way to a better goal difference. Doing a great job at that as well. 79 against 20. 1 minute to go. UAE will potentially be watching this, willing every goal the Israel way.
Yeah.
Silva, just couldn't get the height on that shot she needed. Lovely ball down, visionary from Hall. Short pass, yeah. I'm not sure why she just didn't take the shot there. But Shaw says it's okay, I've got it back, guys. Now. That's the Isle of Man bench. Oh, putting themselves on the line every single pass. There you go, that's what they were after. The big 80, what an achievement for them.
See if they can get this last one in.
Oh, great pressure by Israel. It's not over till it's over, but it is now. Isle of Man, what a commanding performance. What a great tournament for them. They take this match 80 goals to Israel's 20, but take nothing away from Israel. What a fantastic fight on the court today.
Definitely, I mean, Israel have had a really great tournament overall, and they've improved so much since they became members in 2012. They've just really put out a great fight.
So we're trying to do some scores on the doors here. I've no idea how accurate it is. I'm looking at my colleagues in QTV Sport who are trying to work it out. Oh my goodness, the goal difference for the Isle of Man looks to be, at this moment in time, 68. UAE looks to be 45. And I say that because clearly our technical director, Maggie Jackson, will correct us if we're wrong. Gibraltar goal difference at the moment is 36. So, as it stands, it could be literally down to this last game. If Gibraltar managed to take the win and have a commanding scoreline against Ireland, they could walk away in the gold medal position this weekend. If they don't, then goodness knows what the final score is going to be.
Oh my gosh, it'll be a really nerve-wracking game to watch. And I wish you best of luck doing the commentary for that, because it'll be tight.
Well, Suzanne Skelding from the UAE joins me shortly to do the commentating for the last game, and in the last two games she's been here, both of those games have gone down to the wire. Both have been an identical score, 43-42. Could we take another match like that today, Chloe?
I don't think my nerves can handle it.
So we are absolutely delighted to say congratulations to both these teams out on court today. The Isle of Man takes the win here against Israel. The court in front of you as the players retake, with Isle of Man leading 40-0 for Israel. Great start to the quarter.
Israel are off to a much better start this quarter than perhaps they played last quarter.
Kirkham. Great.
Huge difference for the final outcome of
well, we know that
dominant side.
Comar, lovely. So 50. I didn't know any of these players before the tournament started. Now they're household names. What a great shot by.
I feel maybe they should focus on just getting those passes safely to the player that it's aimed at.
Shot up. Right. 3/4 time. What can Cassidy do? Oh, she can, from people all over the globe joining in, which is fabulous to see. Zuba, as we may have mentioned, only got engaged recently, so great lean by the new goal defence, but Comar puts it away. Isle of Man. Oh, that will count. And of course, as we've said here in the commentary box over the week, those nominations go to the appeals panel to collate.
You know, the United Arab Emirates and Isle of Man have really sort of increased the standard.
Great take again. That's a good space there. Pressure in there from Kerr again. Great ball in. 73. I think the score.
Their defence has been strong throughout the entire tournament.
Rolling netball here, watching for the opening. There it was. Cassidy under the post to force their way to a better goal difference. Doing a great job. Oh, putting themselves on the line every single pass. There you go. Ireland. So if you've enjoyed it, as I say, rejoin us shortly here at the Victorian Stadium. What a fantastic occasion for both these teams, and thank you everyone for joining in. Don't go too far, come back shortly. My thanks as always go to the team here at the Victoria Stadium, our sponsors and support by QTV Sport and Gib Media, and of course to all of you who are tuning in from wherever you are in the world. Join us again shortly at 12 o'clock. See you then.